After working with 30 plus multi-millionaire coaches, creators, and entrepreneurs, after being hired from school.com ran by Alex Hormozi and Sam Ovens, and after being flown across the country to document the stories of these entrepreneurs, I can tell you this, that the key to building $1 million business in 2025 isn't some fancy funnel, isn't some running expensive paid ads, or even having to hop on sales calls day in and day out. The secret that all these entrepreneurs have in common is content. The content that they produce is the key to their $1 million success. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down with you the exact strategy that I've accumulated across all these multimillionaires, all these 6- and 7-figure business owners, and how they create content that gets DMs like this every single day. And so if you want to attract clients and have them pre-sold on whatever it is that you are offering, then this will be the video you don't want to miss. So make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm going to be breaking through every step of this process. If you are an entrepreneur, if you're a coach, if you sell something online and you want to create content and use that content to generate business, to get clients, then you won't want to miss this video. Can't wait to see you inside. So in my experience in being creator in the last 6 years and working with the top entrepreneurs in the game, is the content is the secret sauce to ultimately their success. Yes, some of them have different strategies. They use webinars or VSLs or community funnel. And the interesting thing that I've learned is that all strategies work. Whatever strategy you use, whatever funnel or process you use, I can give you an example of it working. And so the cool thing is, whatever you decide to do, whether that's a newsletter, a school community, a YouTube channel, a podcast, whatever direction you want to go that you feel is best fit for you, is served for you, it can work because there's someone out there making it happen. But this is the caveat. The thing that all of them have in common isn't the funnel, but is the content. Because here's the important thing. The goal of your content isn't to grow massive following, isn't to get millions and millions of views or dozens of likes. I know the feeling, it feels great, but that isn't the purpose of the content. The real purpose of content is to build trust. Take people like Dan Bolton as an example. He made over $2 million last year off the back of his content. No ads, no funnels, and even no sales calls. His content did the selling for him. This is the power of what content can do for your business. And here's an example of it working. This is a DM message that Dan had and got. Someone watched one of his videos and they said, I'm ready to buy. I'm ready to jump into his communities, his group coaching offer. And that's because his content is designed to bring people in his DMs who are ready to buy. If you need more convincing, this is Alex Hormozi. He runs acquisition.com. He's a part owner of school.com with Sam Ovens, and he is like well over $100 million entrepreneur. And he spends over $70,000 on content creation. If you weren't convinced the importance of content in 2025, this guy makes so much money, and yet he's investing 70 grand every single month into his content creation. How is it not important? He has one of the most massive personal brands and businesses on the planet that is all done online. You know, he doesn't use any other marketing. He does some ads, but really the power of the content is what makes his business. If this is not further evidence of why content matters, then I don't know if I'll convince you, just sign off this video. So the reason why I bring this up is because the old way of marketing is slowly dying, if not dead. Webinars are outdated. Funnels, at least the traditional funnel, it just doesn't work like it used to. You can't run a simple ad to a landing page with a video and convince them to buy because of this reason. Google did a study that it takes 7 hours of content for someone to have enough trust in order to buy from you. 7 hours. Do you think watching a 30-second ad and a 10-minute or 15-minute VSL is enough time to sell them on your $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 offer? No, it is not enough time. This is why traditional marketing is dead. People don't want that. People want to build trust and build a relationship with you behind the camera. And what this has done is created a shift in marketing, where the shift is Content is the new funnel. It's what people actually are watching and consuming and building trust with, because now they can binge watch your content on platforms like YouTube or Spotify because of all the video that you can have on Spotify. They're opening up clips and all that kind of stuff, right? So clients are binge watching and coming ready to buy because of the content. Where short form is really adding value is the reminder, the daily awareness of putting your message out there. It's not necessarily there to sell or there to build trust, but it's the reminder of like, oh shit, I should check him out. So what this has created is an ecosystem of content to build trust. That is the fundamental thing. When you build trust, that is the first key pillar you need in order to move someone from a follower or fan to become a buyer, a customer, a client. And in order to build that trust, you need to think in your content in 3 different areas. There's 3 questions that every single one of the entrepreneurs that I worked with answer in their content. And those 3 questions are this. Number 1, why should I listen to you? What credibility do you have? If you remember back to the beginning of this episode, of this video, I shared with you my credibility, that I've worked with school.com, that I've worked with multiple 30 plus 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs. I get paid to fly across the country literally to create content for a mastermind full of 7 figure entrepreneurs. That is credibility, that I know what I'm talking about. Number 2, will this work for me? Calling out who you're working with, showing the process and the recipe of your message, your method, right? I'm talking about content. Content is the way to build a multi-million-dollar business in 2025. If you don't relate with that message, you've already signed off. So if you're still here, then I've already got you down to 2 of the 3 answers. And so the last one, the last question that your content needs to answer is, how does this actually work? Like logistically, how does this fit into my world? And that I'm going to show you right here, right now. So this is the new funnel, the new way to build a multi-million-dollar business in 2025. It's the 3-step content funnel. And this is what it looks like. Instead of relying on the algorithm for views, for traffic, what we focus on is a very inexpensive, low-budget ad that will guarantee traffic to our media sources. So what this would look like is, imagine you're getting 100 people every single day to review your social media, your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your YouTube channel. Now, this is guaranteeing that the right people are seeing your content, because you can get 1,000 views, but out of those 1,000 views, how many of them are actual prospects or leads that will want to buy your service? We don't know. The only way we know, if we can guarantee by running small, low budget ads, we're talking the cost of a Starbucks cup of coffee, run those ads to guarantee traffic to our profiles every single day. Step number 2 in this 3-step content system and funnel is the trust loop. And this is the secret sauce. This is what all of the entrepreneurs have in common. They might have different steps, maybe more, maybe less, but they all focus on the trust loop. What this trust loop is they focus on long form content. Why? Because of the Google study, the 7-hour rule, right? We create long form content so they can consume more content and they can build more trust. We repurpose that content into short form videos to remind people every single day who we are, what our message is about, and we get them to our long form. And this creates a loop. This creates a trust loop. And as I consume more content, I become a bigger and bigger fan. And then what I'm trying to do from the trust loop is push them into something very unique, something very different that I haven't seen actually anyone talk about. And this is different from a traditional VSL or a webinar. Number 1, people already know what a VSL is, a video sales letter. They know what a webinar looks like. And so those things don't work. But we do need to build trust with them. We do need them to consume something to pre-sell them. And so what we actually push them into and opt into is a very specific PSL, which stands for the podcast sales letter. What a podcast sales letter is the new way to build trust and to sell without selling. This is why. Have you ever watched a podcast and you're like, man, I just instantly believe and trust this person? Why is that? Because when you're on a podcast, it's like you being on a stage. You have this instant authority, instant trust that you gain when you're watching someone with a podcast, specifically educational podcasts, right? If I have a guest on my show, you're gonna have more trust if you just see them, on some YouTube video or, just on scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, right? You'll have so much more trust if they're on a show. And so what a podcast does is it allows us to answer these 3 questions that we need in our content in order for them to sell. Because why? Why should I listen to you, right? Well, guess what? We're going to share their story and their successes on a podcast, instantly giving them credibility and trust. Well, will this work for me? They're going to share who they've helped achieve what. So I've helped coaches create 6 and 7-figure businesses through content. So if you're a coach, a creator, a consultant, a subject matter expert, you're selling your expertise in some way or fashion. Will this work for me? Probably yes, because I'm sharing how I helped those entrepreneurs. Then how does this actually work? They're going to share their step-by-step signature process, just like I did in this video. I'm sharing with you the 3-step content funnel, how we take someone with getting guaranteed traffic, getting DMs every single day of people ready to buy because of those 3 steps. And through this podcast sales letter, you're able to get the same outcome of a webinar, of a VSL, but it's packaged in a podcast because people consume so much podcast now. Podcasts are the number 1 thing that people are watching in 2025. Number 1, okay? People want to watch and listen to more podcasts. And so instead of just having a webinar, people are able to listen in the car, re-listen, watch it on YouTube, watch it on the TV, watch it on the phone, watch it when they're sitting on the toilet, whatever. And so this makes it so much more powerful than a traditional VSL. And so what's the steps? How do we go from, okay, so I understand the funnel, I understand the strategy, but Kyler, like, how do I create this? What do I do, right? What's the first step? The first step is you want to build out your assets, okay? So my suggestion is you want to create your offer or waitlist doc, right? Waitlists are great because it's easy to opt in and there's no, It's like, hey, listen, I'm launching this offer and join the waitlist. Or if you want to do an application, whatever it is, whatever offer you have going right now, you want to create a doc or a page that really outlines the offer. So number 2 is you want to create traffic ads. So traffic ads need to be super specific, calling out your ICP, your ideal client profile, and making sure that you're articulating the outcome that you're going to help them with. So if I was going to create an ad, I would speak to coaches, creators, consultants, and speak to subject matter experts selling their knowledge online who want to build a 6 to 7-figure business off the back of content, talking about no expensive ads, no fancy funnels, and no sales calls. If that resonated with people would click on my profile, check me out, see my content. From there, all my content is pushing people to one specific PSL, a podcast sales letter that goes over my story, that goes over my method, that goes over my process to getting to XYZ outcome, which answers the 3 sales questions we need for them to buy. Step number 2 is you need to set up the funnel. So set up the automation, set up the email sequences, set up the ManyChat. ManyChat is a hack. If you don't have it, I don't know what you're doing. It's the best app to use to get automatic DMs in your Instagram, in your Facebook. I'm here, it's coming to LinkedIn as well. So if you are a LinkedIn user, that's going to be great. But what it is like if someone says, hey, comment the word PSL to learn about the podcast sales letter system, then they'll automatically get a message from my Instagram account, all automated. So I don't have to do any manual work. This will drive engagement into the comments. So you'll get more views and more attention and thus more leads. And then you can even extract emails from them. So there's a lot of things. So this is more techie stuff, right? But this is just setting up the funnel. And that takes about a week or so to do. And then step 3, the most fun thing that we can do and the most important thing that you can do in your business is to create the content. And so what you're going to do from here is you're going to develop the content strategy and the content schedule. You're going to follow it to a T. Once you have the assets and the funnel set up, the way to making sure the system works is the content itself. So you have to think about your content. What's going to build my credibility? What's going to help people align with, will this work with me? And what's going to show them that how will this work? What actually goes down? If you can create content answering those 3 questions, you will never have to worry about lead generation and client acquisition ever again. Honestly, this process takes 2 to 4 hours a month for most of my clients because guess what? We do it for them. And the outcomes are crazy. They're getting more views, they're getting more followers, they're getting more traffic, they're getting daily DMs of leads ready to buy, and they're having to do less and less sales calls. And so if you want this system, if you are thinking like, hey, I could use this in my business, then click on the link down below and you can go through the whole process and you can learn and see if this would be a good fit for us to come into your business and actually implement this for you. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys sticking around with me to the end. I know this is valuable, but put in the comments what you love most about this, and I'll create some more content around it. All right. Thank you so much. Peace.